Two, one. As soon as I press the fucking button. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Snodacast episode 7. I'm your host, Black Chef 56, and of course, I am joined by the one, the only, Gallows. I'm also joined by someone a little bit halfway across the world right now. We're not going to necessarily disclose his location. I am joined by PCG Runic Skull.
Nice.
And, oh, right, Joe's here.
You guys make it sound like I'm a fucking ghost.
It's like, oh yeah, Joe's here. But, you know, we can't have any normal amount of bullfuckery going on without asking the age-old question, which is, as soon as I can press the fucking button here. Alright. Which is, how's everybody's week? And the way we're going to do this, we're going to go ahead and go Joe, we're going to go Joe, PC, or we're going to go Joe, Runic, and then Gallows. And then we might have Lewis be joining us shortly. I don't know about Shadow. But, Joe, how's your week, buddy?
I started physical therapy and hoping to get my arms to be strong enough again to where I could basically pile drive Shadow. I'm just, wait, no, I'm kidding. I love Shadow.
No, it's so you can start beating your meat again. We understand. We understand it's been a hard couple, well, maybe not hard, maybe hard's not the right choice of words, a soft couple of months, yeah. But no,
Okay.
that's good, buddy.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
good
let's say fuck off, but that was actually pretty fucking funny.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel loved. Anyways, anything else exciting or new happened this week, Joe?
You wish I could see
My sister got to go to
I see
DC
black
and
holes, and then like
have
a
a somewhat
big
quieter
truck.
house.
I forget
Go
you
back tomorrow,
can't see without your glasses.
Yeah. I'm
That's
on
good.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gotta ask you the age-old question, Runic. How's your week, buddy?
It's been pretty bland. I've been stuck in a quarantine barracks ever since getting out here, and I don't end it until a few days from now. So I don't have my computer, I don't have my monitor, my keyboard, my mouse.
Right.
I don't have a lot of things. So I'm sitting in this room, only allowed outside for about 30 minutes until, I'm out of here, and then I'll be at my unit and shit. So just playing the big old army hurry up and wait game.
100% understand, buddy.
So,
Bet you kind of wish you could be outside and seeing all the cool stuff about South Korea.
we saw the outside of the building for like a few minutes.
That's good. That's always fun. Gallows, how's your week, buddy?
Work. That's all I really can say. Work.
Fair enough. For the most part, been me working school. I got a new truck, so that's nice. It's a 2019.
You got a new truck, or your parents got a new truck?
I put 13 grand down on a new truck because I got 10 grand for my Versa, and then I got a 2019 Ford Ranger XL.
How much of that was Kane's money?
3 grand. None of it was Kane's money. All of it was now granted I'm going to be paying the rest of it with Kane's money, but all of it was basically just yeah, I mean, it was just 10 grand of it was my Versa because that's what they praised it for, and then I believe my parents gave me 3 grand to put as a down payment on it, and now I'm paying $485 a month with 20.6 APR because I have zero credit history, so that always doesn't hurt whatsoever. But you know,
have zero credit history, especially when we're born.
Right. Well, I've never had a credit card, nor have I had a car payment, so like I do not have credit history. That's the biggest thing. But you know, that's just how it is, I guess. And then
Not just like me and my dating history.
But
Non-existent.
But that being said, you know, like honestly, it is what it is. I don't know. I just
At least you have a car, right?
Oh no, I have a truck, and trust me, it is fantastic. I ended up paying about 30 grand, I think.
If we get a couple of likes on this stream, I will put a Confederate flag on his truck.
Bitch, you put anything on my fucking truck, I will kill you with said thing.
He's laying down in there with you.
If you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and go right into the nitty gritty about all this.
I'll walk up right now. But I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. We're gonna go in now showing. All right, this week for now showing, we have, assuming I can press the right fucking button here, we have, of course, my lovely handy dandy little thing here. We have Death on the Nile this week, the sequel
And
to
we got Binks.
2016's Murder on the Orient Express. And of course, I think we just got someone that joined back in. Hello, Binks, aka Tyron. Perfect timing, not gonna lie, buddy. You're a little bit late. Yeah. But that being said,
what you mean a little bit late? I thought it started at 8:30.
it does, but we started early. Sorry, buddy. That's why we usually try to get everybody in here at least at 7:30, so we can get some pre-game going and everything.
Okay, that's news to me. I'm also at work, so.
Fair. 100% understandable. If you don't want to turn on your camera, you are good to not do that.
It's pitch black here, so there would be no fucking way you guys could see me.
You like
So
fucking
normal?
camouflage.
No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna say that. That is bad of me to even try to say.
You
Oh
fucking
man,
said it.
I know, but still.
Sorry, I tried to get Shadow's ugly ass in here, but you know.
Yeah, good luck getting him in there. Yeah.
If I just come in like, oh, this machete? I was just scratching my back.
Yeah. But that
You're
being
so-
said,
figure
we're
it out.
gonna go ahead and talk about Tyron. Did you want to say what your week how your week went?
My week?
Yeah.
Are you trying to still figure it out?
Sorta. But my week's been pretty chill.
Fucking.
That's good.
I barely had work, so
That's the order
much it.
we ordered from
Well, it's always good to be working, I guess, right?
Us.
yeah, but fucking having to drive all the way out to Mansfield and then sitting out here in a pitch black fucking like site that you can barely see out like half a mile across. Though.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
that's always annoying.
I've never had a pizza.
Hey,
I've never
hey,
had a pizza that you
Runic.
can eat.
You mean a little loud. Sorry.
You've never had a pizza that you can eat. Cold.
Yeah. Hold on one second. I'm gonna bring you down just a tad.
You're fine. You're fine.
All right.
Oh,
So, anyways, well, that's good to hear, buddy. It's good to hear that your week's going okay, I guess. But on to our now showing, which is basically, I don't know why that is doing. Why is there such a big? Oh, okay, that explains a lot. Okay, sorry about that. Experiencing some technical difficulties here, folks. But anyways, that being said, Death on the Nile, the sequel to the 2016 Murder on Orient Express, comes out this weekend, or has come out this weekend, and I haven't seen the original Murder on the Orient Express. I've never seen any of them, but I do love a good murder mystery. Knives Out was one of my favorite films from 2019, if I'm not mistaken. And I always love a good whodunit. Clue is hands down one of my favorite comedies, even though that is based off of a board game. But I've been interested in these movies just because I've been told they're really, really good. Even though I know the twist of the first one, I don't know the twist of the second one. And yes, I know that they're both books and everything else like that. But yeah, what do you guys have any thoughts, comments, concerns on the Death on the Nile?
I don't know shit about it, so
You okay? My
What
Fair
I
enough.
saw from the trailer itself was good.
Yeah,
It looks cool.
from the trailers, it looks like a lot. It looks like a fun time to see in the theaters. Joe, any thoughts, comments, concerns on murder or on Death on the Nile?
I haven't seen it yet either, although you did say one thing that a certain character was going to be
I did.
said something about the trailer, right?
Oh, yeah. I believe Gal Gadot's character is going to be the body. I think she's going to be the death on the Nile. I think she's going
Also,
to
I
be the
did
main
find-
body.
What's unrelated now, so I finally saw Jackass Forever.
Yeah, lucky bastard. I never got to see it on Friday, so unfortunately. I'll eventually watch it. It's not that I won't, but yeah.
It'll make you question your sense of humor, I'll tell you that.
Well, all of the jackasses have been doing that for me, so there's nothing else new on that. But yeah, I'm super pumped about this just because I like I said, I do love a good murder mystery, and those have always kind of been my comfort food, I guess. Aside from action films, murder mysteries are always I always like them, even if they end up being a bad murder mystery. It's like, oh, I knew who that. Like Scream, if you want to be technical, is a murder mystery, and it's one of my favorites. Yeah,
I love Ghostface.
yeah, Ghostface is one of my favorites. Even though I never really understood it as a kid, it took me till I was outside of high school in order to finally watch Scream. By the way, I just didn't
Really?
care. No, I didn't care. I was like, you know what? Honestly, when I started seeing him doing the kill counts on Dead Meat, that's when I finally was like, oh, I should probably watch these. And I finally gave him a shot because honestly, I thought it was overhyped as a kid. I was like, I don't see the appeal of this. So whatever.
I think it is overhyped.
Yeah.
I do think it is.
Yeah. Well, I don't believe it's overhyped anymore. My biggest thing is like, I feel like I still feel like the first one is hands down all-time classic. But that being said,
of course.
yeah. But that being said, and I actually really enjoyed Scream 5, by the way. Scream 4 was a little ahead of its time. But that being said, let's go ahead and go on to our first topic for the night. Our first topic for tonight is, it is official, Disney Plus is going to be doing a live-action Goosebumps series. And don't get too excited, folks. It is not going to be like the original Goosebumps, which it was an anthology series. This is going to be more in lines with the movies, and basically it's going to be Disney trying to do their own version of Stranger Things, which, granted, if there's any franchise you could do that with, Goosebumps will probably work. However, I would have preferred an anthology series. With the Disney Plus money behind it, I feel like an anthology Goosebumps series could have been done extraordinarily well. Think of R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour, which was basically big budget Goosebumps that was marketed more towards teenagers than kids. Like, I never really found Goosebumps terrifying. I found Haunting Hour disturbingly terrifying as a kid. So,
Really?
yeah, Haunting Hour was more.
I thought Haunting Hour was good.
Haunting Hour. No, I'm saying like disturbingly terrifying. Like, I loved it. The Haunting Hour is one of my favorites.
No, I didn't think. I thought it was just like. To me, when the Goosebumps series came out,
Yeah,
I thought those were kind of creepy. But when Haunting came out, it was like, oh,
Haunting Hour was like
Goosebumps.
top tier. Now, I will say this: while I never found Fear Street terrifying, I did enjoy that trilogy, which is another R.L. Stein's book. Now, granted, that was mostly marketed towards young adults. The books were, but I don't think that the shows. I think the show really went towards more of an adult horror edge, which is fine. I actually genuinely enjoyed that. Which, granted, it does still involve teenagers. There's nothing really all that explicit about it aside from the kills. So I think it's perfectly fine to show like teenagers, just let them know like, hey, there's some shit that goes wrong in this that you probably shouldn't be doing, that kind of thing. But like I feel like
Yes.
the best way I feel like to introduce anybody into horror, because I did not really get that well introduced into horror. My first horror movie was a terrible horror movie. It was Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Now, granted, the part that terrified me was the opening with the father and son hunting, and they get attacked by facehuggers. That was terrifying to me. I don't know what it was. I just found that absolutely inherently terrifying, and I still find it disturbing today, but I don't necessarily get scared by it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It's just stupid characters being stupid characters. But that being said, I feel like the best way to introduce, not necessarily a little kid, but if you have a, let's say 6 or 7 year old that's like, hey, I want to watch a horror movie. While granted, not my favorite horror movie, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is probably one of the best introductory horror films I've seen, aside from like horror series like Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, and all that fun stuff. Like, those are good introductory horror shows, but I feel like a good introductory horror movie into the hardcore stuff is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
If we're speaking of horror stories, I'm gonna do what my dad did with me. Throw me right into The Grudge.
Ooh, your dad's an asshole. That's a bad start. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Once you watch The Grudge, if that's your first horror movie, nothing will ever come up to it. Because honestly, even the American version is pretty terrifying. Like, Grunge and The Ring, those are some of like top tier freaking horror movies. Like the Ring, the American version of Ring is okay. It's a relatively slow movie. However, the ending is what terrifies people. In the beginning, it opens and bookends really well, but the middle of the movie is, it's alright. Whereas the original Ring is pretty good too. But go ahead.
So after watching the first Grudge, right? I proceeded to watch the second one. In my opinion, the second one is a little bit funnier than the first one. Like, the first one's horrifying, but the second one couldn't compete to the first one.
That's as most sequels do.
I think they attempted to make a third one, but I didn't really hear anything.
They
about that.
went up to like 4 out of the American horror movies, yeah.
Did they?
They did? That was the
The second one is where she's supposed to die, and the third one is with her cousin.
Oh. And then I tried to watch Ju-on, or is that it? Ju-on?
Ju-on is the Grudge. That's the Japanese version, yeah.
I've tried to watch that one, but I couldn't really find anything on it.
Right.
You can probably watch it here.
Probably, since we are in Asia. Yeah.
Maybe. I genuinely do not know.
I
If you go down to a retail DVD store down in Asia, you might be able to watch it there.
Yeah, but good luck finding English subtitles. But yeah, that being said, back onto the main topic of Goosebumps. Here's the thing. The description is it's basically 5 friends are trying to protect their town from these creatures that they accidentally release, and they are the Goosebumps monsters, which, if that sounds familiar, that's essentially the Goosebumps movie, which was fine. However, when I think Disney Plus doing a live action Goosebumps show, not a movie, a show, I genuinely got excited until I heard the description, and I'm like, okay, they're essentially trying to do the movie in a show format, which could probably work better. I'm not saying it won't. However, I would have loved to have seen an anthology series with different actors each time, maybe share a few actors here and there, kind of do what Fear Street did. Fear Street used a lot of the same actors in different roles throughout the whole movie, or throughout all 3 of those movies. So I feel like that would have worked out. Like, honestly, that could have worked. That was an anthology series, but it was still essentially the same storyline because it followed this entire town. But I will say this, when it comes to Goosebumps, I still think it still 100% works as an anthology series. Because then you could do all the books. Like Welcome to Horrorland was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite series, was Welcome to Horrorland out of the Goosebumps. Like, that was one of my favorites, was Horrorland, Werewolf Skin, I think was the other one. Whichever one had like. Oh, what's up, Lewis? You're not too late to the party.
I like your picture.
Mine was the Billy. The one.
Oh, Night of the Living Dummy. Yeah, they milked the hell out of that in the original series. I think each season had. Yeah, I think each season had like 5 or like 2 or at least 2 episodes of Night of the Living Dummy. I don't know. It's been a while since I never really binged the original Goosebumps show. There's like 4 or 5 episodes, but because I think they did. I know Night of the Living Dummy. I think 4 in the show had Hayden Christensen in it.
As a kid?
More like a 12 or 13-year-old, but yeah.
I hate Alexia.
Dude, there's a lot of young actors like that are like names now. Like they're somewhat big names, or they're familiar names that have been in Goosebumps. I mean, like, you have Ryan Gosling,
it's like
Hayden Christensen.
Like you mentioned.
Well, you also got to remember these are Canadian actors. You also got to remember these are Canadian actors. Goosebumps was primarily shot in Canada. Like, they used 99% Canadian actors. Yeah, you didn't know that? Dude, there's a reason why people love filming in Canada. It's the tax write-off.
Maybe they had Jeremy Renner in it.
I think it had Jeremy Renner, if I'm not mistaken.
I did also finally finish.
I was gonna say, because if you watch Barney, most of the well-known Disney stars, female Disney stars, came from Barney themselves.
Oh yeah,
that's
true.
The other Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
You mean the crack addict?
Yeah.
But that being said, do you guys have any thoughts, comments, concerns on this new Disney Plus show, live action Goosebumps?
You want to hear my thoughts?
I hope it's good. I hope it can be as good as it, at least either as good as or okay as the first series, the first one that came out.
Well, judging by the plot synopsis, probably not. I don't know. I still think it's going to be Goosebumps. I think they're just going to do they're going to attempt to do their own Stranger Things vibe. But who said, do you want to hear my thoughts? Lewis?
I did.
Oh, okay. Tyron, go ahead.
I basically just wanted to stay
Hello,
as
Napkin
it
Bird.
was before, honestly, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with the classic books. I grew up with the classic show. It should stay that way. Don't fuck with it.
I will say this. I don't necessarily hate the idea of a live-action Goosebumps show. However, the way that they're describing it is where you've turned me off. Not that I won't enjoy it, or not that there's a chance that I won't enjoy it, or that I wouldn't want to tune into it. However, if you grew up with the original show and the original books, you really want a good anthology series, get a Shudder account and watch Creepshow. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
Freaking
They better
great.
not-
My
they better not fuck it up.
services.
They better not fuck it up because I was also one of those people that enjoyed the original
Right.
series,
Mhm.
live action one that like actually like terrified me as a child. So it's like it doesn't matter whether if it's like low quality or HD, just don't fuck it up.
Well,
Goosebumps
and
is goosebumps.
so here's the thing. Have you heard what the plot synopsis for this one is?
No, because remember,
5 or 6 friends are trying to stop these monsters from destroying their towns, which if that sounds familiar, because it's the movie. They're essentially doing the movie in a show. And while I'm not saying that could work, I'm not saying it can't work. I'm just saying usually when I think Goosebumps, I don't think that. I think an anthology horror series. You know, that's
Is it
what
gonna
I
be
think.
the same monsters or different monsters?
Popped up, it said building class.
We have a commenter asking what show do you wish would have gone better when they remade it or did a live action. Before we get into our next topic, I do want to answer that. That's a good brain tickler. I will still stand by. I think the last season of Game of Thrones could have gone better. I know that's a cliche, but if I really want to go like hardcore and go deep cut, Hemlock Grove deserved better. It really did. Though granted, it was starting to fall down in season 3. They should have ended it with season 2. Hemlock Grove deserved a lot better.
Here's a controversial one.
What's up?
The directors for,
That is Netflix.
The directors for the fucking for the show Game of Thrones, bro. You guys should have just took y'all fucking time with it.
Oh, they were trying to go to a Disney Star Wars project. That's what it was. Is that's why they rushed it. They were like, oh well, we get to go do this Disney Star Wars project, and we're gonna say, well, we're fucking done with Game of Thrones.
You guys would have never watched that Disney Star Wars thing. You guys would have had the contract still, and you would have been able to make it good.
Yeah.
But y'all guys want to fuck up so hard. That's on y'all guys, basically.
Lewis, what were you trying to say?
If y'all, I don't know how big Disney people y'all are with cartoons and stuff, but American Dragon Jake Long, the second season.
Oh god!
Oh my god!
Not
Yes,
only-
that second season should have been done better.
Oh god, bro!
They should have not changed the animation.
They
period.
shouldn't
I don't
have.
care
No,
who
I
you are.
agree.
They should have.
Yeah,
not.
I will say this though, you do get used to it.
And the art style change, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
True.
I will say
I'm not
this.
saying that it's a bad art style.
It is
but
a
I'm just saying
drastic
that it was
change.
A poor choice.
Yeah.
It was a poor choice on them.
No, I
Selecting-
agree. There's only a handful of shows that I feel like have changed, that did an art style change that worked. Now one that was relatively controversial with all, well, it was well received except for one element, and that was the Batman the Animated Series art style change. A lot of people hated what they did with the Joker. I don't necessarily disagree with it. I think it is a very bland design for the Joker. That being said, the return of the it's a very, like, he just has these black beady eyes, very bleached skin, which is fine, but his hair is like almost too dark green. Like it's a black
effort.
blob with a green outline is essentially what it is.
It's essentially less effort, is what he's saying.
Yeah, it's a lot less effort. Like they keep
okay.
the suit and everything, and I actually really like the angular design. Like everybody else's design looks good in that redesign. However, I do agree the Joker was pretty bland.
It's the color scheme they fucked up with the.
It is, yeah. You want to usually and they don't have the Batman the Animated Series when they did that art style change, and that Joker, like, he became very muted in colors. Like he didn't have the red lips. He really didn't have lips. And like, I will say this, the Return of the Joker from Batman Beyond movie did a really good job, a really good mesh of the original design combined with the new redesign. They did a really good mesh of that. Gotham is a piss poor example of what Joker should be, and they can fucking die. I don't care. I hate how the Joker looks in that show. I despise it. Whenever he has like the stitched on face, that's fine. Just Jeremiah, that's fine. But when they do old Jeremiah, I'm like, ooh, no.
I feel like he could pull it off. I feel like he could pull it off. He was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have gotten
think it was just-
Skyfall in order.
Yeah.
I think it was just a poor choice on them not actually taking the time to actually put him in makeup and the actual Joker get up instead of just.
Oh, I'm not saying the makeup was bad. I mean, the makeup was a bad
I'm
design,
talking about, like,
but it was done well.
I'm talking about the original makeup, like the actual like classic with the red and white and everything.
Well, the
'Cause, I
reason
mean,
why
like,
they couldn't do that was there was a lot of copyright with it, and that was a problem. That's why they had a Harley Quinn X. That's why they had they never really called him the Riddler. They called him Nigma, or they had the Penguin, but they only called him that as a nickname. They always called him Cobblepot. You know, like, it's all that kind of stuff. There's a reason why they avoided character names and why they waited till the last season to even show a full-on like prototype Batman. So there's a lot of legal reasons as to why they couldn't do it, and nothing wrong with that. It's fine. I get that they had their limitations, and they did okay. Like, I enjoyed the show for what it was for a while. It was fine, but it just kept going. That's my only problem. Is it went on too long, and I think that honestly, I just didn't care. Also, because you see a lot of these characters. Yes, I heard the ending was fantastic. Yeah, I heard the ending was fantastic.
Well set up. It was literally well set up to the point to where you're like, okay, now the movies, essentially.
Right. Yeah, essentially.
They did a good job to like. But one of the other like examples of a remake that they did a very good job on, which I still don't see a lot of complaints on, Animaniacs.
Yes.
Even if it was like a little bit more redone, they still did such a good job.
I will say this, it's a little bit smoother
animation.
animation from what I've seen. It's a lot smoother animation, but that's because the animation technology has like boomed beyond that.
Changed.
Yeah, it's changed drastically.
I just want to hear less Trump jokes from this shit.
I think that they're starting to do that less.
Yeah, because I mean the whole
Orange Man bad.
I mean, one thing more about what's about culture now about the Animaniacs.
I mean, the whole remake is honestly, well, their main mission, especially with Animaniacs, has always been trying to be on top of whatever trend that's happening. So I mean, I get that they have like a bunch of political stuff, like with what you were saying, Donald Trump. I think at some point, once we start having more other controversial stuff happening, it'll start passing through.
Oh yeah, it's basically, here's the thing: Animaniacs is essentially South Park for kids. Think about it.
In a way.
Yeah, with how they tackle a lot of stuff. Now, I still think South Park is a lot more on top of everything because of how long they wait to do their episodes. I mean, they do it the week of. So that's why I feel like South Park can tackle way too many topics for its own good, like that week. So I will say that. They did
announce Tiny Toon Adventures remake, which I'm kind of like excited but also worried at the same time.
Get the same team behind it. I feel like you're going to be okay. That's just my thing.
It's not about the same team, it's more about the voice actors, which I'm like,
well, yeah, that's what I mean by the same team. I'm not just talking about animation, I'm not just talking about writing, I'm talking about like you get everybody back, you should be okay. But that being said, you guys ready to go on to our next topic?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, so we had another Nintendo Direct this week, and there's quite a few games that were announced. Now, the one that I really want to get into, because I'm super pumped about this. It's official.
I know what it
Folks,
is.
we're getting Nintendo Switch Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
The meme lives on.
And this one is multiplayer too.
Beat your ass at boxing.
It's online.
Right now, we might top that game. I'm thanking all of y'all. No questions asked.
Oh yeah.
Badminton. You have the return of the original bowling. You have the Wii Resorts. Yeah, you have the Wii Resort Sports game with the
swordplay thing.
That one.
Oh, I remember that one. That one was a lot of fun. Oh, we lost somebody.
I did see basketball in there, which was kind of disappointing, but maybe it's in there. I don't know. I don't fucking know, dude.
Well, here's the thing: what Nintendo's been doing, DLC. So most likely or not, if they don't have it there or if they don't have it planned, they're probably gonna shove it to a DLC, just like they're doing with every other game.
Hands if they do that.
Yeah, I'm down to throw hands with you, buddy.
Throw hands with you on boxing.
All right, so we lost Runic. No, here's the thing: if they don't have Mike, I'm telling you, it's a loss. Because honestly, I'm whatever his name is, the guy that always beats your ass, basically.
That's Mike, not the last guy.
That's Mike. Okay, his name is Mike. His name is Mike, right?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Bite my ear off first.
Essentially.
No, I'm telling you, if they don't have boxing and they don't have him, then I'm gonna, if I buy it and then that happens, I'm not gonna.
Be like some sort of link out there.
Give me out Ali. He's the
I'm
goat.
telling you, the meme needs to live on. If that guy's still not 10 times more powerful.
The thing is, man, how long has it been since we've had?
No, actually, you know what? No, it should have.
Shit, I think we stopped having any online server. I think it stopped like this year, but I think the Wii came out in what
2011 or 12.
I want to say 11, yeah, maybe 10.
10, wasn't it? It was 10.
Yeah, I think it was
probably
010, but I don't think we got Wii Sports till 11. I think the Wii was out for a solid year before Wii Sports.
That doesn't make sense because
at that time they had
One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time, guys. So,
I vividly remember
Tyron?
I vividly remember myself getting a Wii when I was 8 years old, and that was back in 2008. And Wii Sports came out with it. So
right, I'm talking about Wii Sports Resort. Sorry, Wii Sports Resort was probably about 2010, 2011. I think it was out at 08. It was like the hottest freaking gift you could get. Like that was the one time Nintendo was on top of everybody. I mean, like I'm talking.
The Wii came out in 2007.
Bro, oh yeah, the Wii came out in 07. Yeah,
because they had the second prototype of the Wii. The Wii was a lot like, more.
They did have a second prototype.
Remember they had they came out with a black version and then a red version for Mario.
Oh
the new
yeah.
game.
I wanted that red one so bad. Yeah.
And you get
I got the white. I either got the white one or the black one. It was either or. It's been a while since I played with them.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying, Tyron?
Actually,
I said that you got the Toad Wii remote with the Wii Motion Plus inside.
Yep.
Bro, okay, I'll tell you right now. Underrated game of all time on the Wii. The Avatar game. From the Blue Monkeys. Blue Monkeys.
Yeah.
The Blue Monkeys.
Yes.
Dude, that game kicked ass. And honestly, on the X, you know what's funny is every single console had a different story.
Yeah.
Which I found that really interesting because I was like, okay, well, I eventually played the Xbox 360 version, and it was completely different. I beat that, and I beat the Wii version. I never got close to the Nintendo DS. I don't know what it was. I could just never defeat it. And then I had I wanted to play the PlayStation version. I wanted to see what the story was for that. Though, granted, I think Xbox and PlayStation had the same story, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was just every other console had a different story. So, I will say this: I preferred the Wii version over the Xbox. The Xbox definitely had better gameplay, but the Wii version had the better story. I was more interested in the Wii version. Also, the Wii had better graphics. The Wii version had, like, hands down some of the most realistic graphics I've ever seen on the Wii, at least.
Yeah.
What are we talking?
I mean,
we're talking about Last Airbender, right?
No. There's a reason why I said Blue Monkeys, Joe.
I mean, can you blame the graphics? I mean, Mario Galaxy, hello, too?
That's true.
Mario Galaxy 2?
Bro, that was like the peak of graphics too. Like that was really good. Honestly, because of that reason, I want to get the new Avatar game. I just don't know when it's coming out. I don't even think
probably when the movie comes out.
Probably when. Probably,
Wait,
but
I'm actually supposed to care about Avatar still?
Apparently so. I'm gonna see the second movie just to see how bad or good it ends up being. I hope they have a different writing staff. However, if it's James Cameron involved, I think he also writes his stuff too. So,
ooh, I got the next game we could talk about, which is also something that everybody's been waiting for.
What's up?
That was announced. Earthbound. Motherfucking Earthbound is finally revived for a new generation for people who haven't played it or haven't been ever to get their hands on it for the 26th. Ever played
Free
Earthbound?
Switch burn?
Look, if it's anything that has to do with like RPG type games, no, I've never played shit like that.
Like I didn't physically play it, but I've watched it from the original Let's Players back in the YouTube days when Let's Players was a thing, and essentially it's one of the Nintendo like kind of like they have the kings of their mascots, and that's where you get Ness. Ness from Smash, that's essentially Earthbound, that's where he's from. That's why a lot of people like him. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, that's good. I know that we're getting a new Kirby game, which I think it's been a long ass time since we've gotten a Kirby game.
Oh my god, the trailer.
It's like
Yeah.
Super Mario Odyssey, but with Kirby.
Pretty
The
much,
mouthful
yeah.
mode is hilarious.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie though. Like, I saw a meme a while back, and it was actually pretty good. It showed Ellie from The Walking Dead, and it says, "Didn't kill the person who killed her father figure, even though, or like learned like some moral lesson or whatever." And then it shows Kirby. It's like literally killed gods because they ate his cake.
I mean,
Like-
it's true.
Yeah,
Here's the funny thing about
it's true.
that new mechanic is the fact that he turned into a car, he
Right.
turned into a vending machine, a cone, and then now, like, ever since that trailer came out, everybody's been slapping Kirby on buildings, on everything you can think of. It's on Twitter, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. But I will say this, I'm super pumped to see all the new stuff that Nintendo's getting, because honestly, I need to build up my collection on my Nintendo Switch. All I have right now is Animal Crossing and the Super Nintendo as well as the NES.
Yep.
So yeah, I had that like downloaded, but I'm talking about like actual physical games. I need to get Mario Kart. I know I do, but it's still like $60 freaking at the moment. Same thing with Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild and Link's Awakening. And
Fair warning
especially
about Mario
Smash Bros.
If you want some of the OG like maps, because they did announce it in the whole
whatever.
direct, you're gonna have to pay for extra for the plus because it's DLC essentially.
I already have Nintendo. I think I already have Nintendo Plus. I had the whole year membership for one person. Because actually, for one person, it's like $10 a year. So.
Because I know the extra one was like 25.
I probably don't have that. I think I have the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have Nintendo
You probably
Online.
have the regular one.
I had Nintendo Online.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
the regular one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nintendo Plus
what I'm
came
talking
out like
about is, like,
long
the-
after. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I remember when they announced that. I was like, whatever, fuck you, I don't care. But that being said, any more thoughts, comments,
like you're not
concerns
gonna
on
play with
Nintendo
Shrek.
Direct?
Xenoblade
it's not-
Chronicles 3.
Go ahead, Binks.
Okay. I know this isn't directly Nintendo based, but apparently there's a game that I've been watching on the radar for fucking probably now 7 years. And it's supposed to have a release this year, if not next year. And it's fucking Dead Island 2. Apparently it's
Oh
supposed
wow,
to
they're gonna
be
make that one again?
this year.
Forgot about
Really?
It's
that.
been in they said it's been in development for a long time.
They lost a
Man.
couple developers. Like,
Yeah.
It's,
been
so
development
apparently with the, with shit going down, and then apparently they said their whole entire fucking design team quit on them
Oh.
at one point.
Section was developing it, but I think now they're not.
It's
What's up?
it's still Techland that's working on it with them.
Hmm.
But finally fucking decided.
Wasn't the
hey,
whole
yeah,
problem with Dead Island is it had a phenomenal freaking trailer, and then it ended up being kind of utter trash after after you played the first like 40 minutes?
Uh,
I
Island
remember when
2
it came
wasn't
out,
even
like a lot of
playable
people
yet.
hated it. Yeah, a lot of people hated it. Like the mechanics were pretty
Oh
bad.
yeah. No, I liked it.
I think that's
played
what it
it. I
was.
played it all the way through. I love the game.
Yeah.
I won't say I love it. I
you
liked the
can
game.
play
played
it solo,
Dead
but it's more fun with
I played Dead
friends.
Island, I played Dead Island Riptide, and honestly, the trailer, the trailer wasn't really like this is how the game is going to look. I think it was just like to hype the fucking game up.
Oh
They
yeah.
really should have just.
Dude, I remember wanting to play that fucking game. Bro, I remember seeing that trailer on like Cartoon Network and shit, and I'm like, bro, I want to play this, and it's like only on Xbox and PlayStation. I'm like, fuck.
But the best part is though about that island is they love to throw in like a lot of fucking Easter eggs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like fucking Jason Voorhees is in that motherfucker. You can kill him, but he'll come back.
Yeah. I remember that was
If
like
you
the best part
play
was the Easter eggs.
Dying Light 2 in the early part of the game, in the house, you could find a record.
Voodoo,
a vinyl
voodoo.
record. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
thought that was fucking
Bambi from
cool.
the fucking intro. Yeah, I seen that too.
I was like having like, is the Zombie Disease and Dead Island and Dying Light, are they like connected or are they separate?
I mean,
Like,
are they from the same
Same
developer?
company.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say, aren't they from the same developer? So I would think that, yeah, most likely they can.
unless they live in separate units.
No,
They
you
can
want to
and
know?
they did.
You want to know what the best game to look for Easter eggs is?
Doom.
Any of the Arkham games,
Oh yeah, I'm playing them right now.
Yep.
dude.
I would
In
say-
Arkham City, there's a Starro Easter egg. Like you can see a version of Starro in like a tank.
Nice.
It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I'm like, bro, that's ingenious. Here's the thing: is one of these days, I will probably never do it. I still own the game, but like one of these days, I wanna recomplete it because I had to rebuy it. I originally had Arkham City for Xbox, and I did not get to keep said Xbox. So basically, I had Arkham City. I beaten it, but I had beaten it, but I did not get all the Easter eggs. Whereas this time, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get all the Easter eggs. Fuck no, that game's too big. There's no way. It'd take me like 6 months just to find
Arkham City is
everything.
like Counterman.
Dude, Arkham City is a big ass game. Honestly, it's still fun. I'm not saying any of the Arkham games aren't fun. I finally fucking beat Arkham Knight like a year ago. I couldn't get past the fact that I constantly had to use the Batmobile, though granted it did get less and less over time. So I was like, okay, that's fine.
It's kind of annoying though.
It is very annoying in the beginning of the game because I'm like, oh cool, I get to use a tank. And then it's like, oh, I get to use a tank.
Kind of it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Actually.
But yeah, that being said, any more thoughts, comments, concerns on Nintendo Direct?
Nope.
2 games. Go
ahead.
Mother free.
Splatoon 3, which
Oh, wait.
is kind of hilarious because of the fact of a bunch of people have been wanting that to come out, which is coming this summer. Also, everybody wanted Mother 3 to come out to be the actual big announcement, which I was hoping so I could see people's reactions. Was not it, which was surprisingly caught me off guard, which was Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was the last like surprise kind of announcement, and I was like, I did not see that one coming.
Yeah.
I did not even know that they were actually going to announce it. The fact that they just finished releasing the second game, it's like, really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's gonna be like the ultimate trilogy or something. You never know.
More backslash.
Maybe. But that being said, is that gonna be all? Are we ready to go to our next topic?
Yep.
Something that I'm already been prepared for with this haircut. All right, our next topic is we are getting a Vikings revival. As soon as I can fucking do that, we are getting a Vikings revival through Netflix with Vikings Valhalla, and I say revival meaning it's essentially the same universe, which granted is supposed to be historical, but it is not going to be following Ragnar or Bjorn. Which, okay, granted, it hasn't been following Ragnar for a while. But it is not going to be following Bjorn. It's actually going to be following other Vikings. And I think, honestly, Netflix may be desperately trying to win people back. Okay, there's no may about that. They are desperately trying to win people back with whatever they can. Everybody's like, well, Squid Game 2. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I guess Squid Game... here's the thing. It's going to die. It is 100% going to die. Squid Game should only be one season. Like, I'm sorry. It can only be... Yeah,
Just don't
but
purge it.
now I will say this:
But they left it off with a cliffhanger, so now
Jupiter's
everybody's super excited
Ascending.
for it.
Jupiter's Ascending, I think is what it's called, right? or no, Jupiter's Legacy. I watched it. It's okay. I don't necessarily need a season 2, so you can cut that one. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big Timothy Oliphant fan, but yeah, you know, that's just I mean, there's quite a few shows that I could see them canceling in order to like do these things, because if there's anybody that's more cutthroat than Disney whenever it comes to cancellations, it really is Netflix.
Netflix is very picky about
They be
what they
canceling
want.
everything I love. They can kiss my ass.
They want like specific things, and if the studio or whatever they're making can't deliver on what they want, it's not going to be put on there. So
Yep,
you know,
that is 100% the facts.
Also, question: what was the other Viking show that?
It was just called Vikings. It was originally on History Channel.
That yeah.
I
that's
remember
right.
what you're talking about.
Historical.
I actually enjoyed watching that. With
Yeah,
some of my
I'm
friends.
watching it right now, honestly. Just because, well, you know, part of my religion, I figured I'd go ahead and watch it, get some historical context. Even though I will say this.
A lot of people are upset because it's not historically right.
No, a lot of
sense.
people, yeah, they're like, I mean, here's the thing. They have to fudge some historical shit just to make it more interesting. They do that all the time. Like, everybody's like, oh, well, Ragnar and what's his name weren't brothers. They weren't brothers in real life. There was like 600 years of difference between the two. But they decided to do that because they're like, well, we want to have both of these badass characters, so...
It makes money.
You know, make them brothers. And like, yeah, so, but I will say this, Bjorn, I'm getting interested in him because I know that he eventually becomes the showrunner. I know what happens to Ragnar. I mean, it's not going to shock me because I know a lot of people were pissed. They're like, bro, they killed off Ragnar. And I'm like, who?
Just ask them if they're afraid of snakes.
Well, I am terrified of snakes, but I know exactly what happens to Ragnar.
I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna spoil
like,
the last season for you, but you'd be prepared to lose really interested in the last season.
Really? I heard there's a reason why it got canceled. So, I mean, here's the thing: is it was really just history's attempt at Game of Thrones, and honestly, I think it's better than Game of Thrones in my opinion. Don't get me wrong; nothing will beat those first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. Those first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, man, oh my god. But beyond that, yeah, I can kind of see where it... I mean, don't get me wrong. Season 6 was one of my favorites just because of Battle of the Bastards. Battle of the Bastards was one of the best episodes, in my opinion. Just because, like, it was cool to see that big of a battle. And it takes up the majority of an episode. Like, that's awesome. That's genuinely good. Beyond that, you know, whatever. But that's just kind of my whole thing.
What are your worries and concerns about the series? Because
about this new one?
To get into it. Yeah, about this new one. I'm going to get into the Netflix one. I wasn't able to get into the other one, but what are
If you won't be able to get
concerns
into the
about
original, you probably won't be able to get into the Netflix one. My only concerns about this is just because Netflix is backing it, that's my only problem, because I know that they're going to try to push some shit, and that's something I'm not really looking forward to.
Let me clarify in a different way of like, the thing, like, I'm assuming there was a lot of certain things that would you like and didn't like from the History Channel one.
Well, I still haven't finished it yet.
That they don't. Okay.
Yeah, I still haven't finished it. I just know what happens to. I know what happens to Ragnar. I don't know how it leads up to it, but I know what happens to him. Like, I know how he dies. That being said, I will say, I like this show just because it does portray. It's not afraid to show that Vikings are, well, Vikings. Like, they're not afraid to show that these guys are kind of fucking dickheads. Like, they're not afraid to show you that, but they pillage. They will just randomly kill people out of nowhere. Like, it's not afraid to show you that, and they'll like laugh at it. They'll sacrifice humans to the gods. I mean, like, it's they show how bad they could get, but they also showed like how well they treat people as well, how human they are. Exactly. So like, Ragnar is a fucking dickhead, but you feel for him. Yeah, he's a he's a jackass.
The heathen.
I mean, okay, so slight spoilers for the end of, I think, season 1. Ragnar fucking cheats on his wife, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he cheats on his wife.
That part is horrible. Again, that part hits source because the fact that even the stories, it says that he cheats on his wife.
Well, yeah.
And he ends up being known as a womanizer in sorts because he had so many different types of lovers and stuff like that.
Oh, well, yeah, but granted, most of them did too. But I will say this.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to show also how kind they could be, how well they treated their people. Like, look at the priest. Now, granted, I have gotten to the point where he kind of starts going back to being a priest. So I have kind of gotten to that point, even though I was like, oh shit, they're going to fucking kill him. Because there is a point where he's literally on a crucifix. Like, he is 100% stigmata to a crucifix. About to fucking die. No, he was crucified, but he didn't die.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was 100% crucified. Like, he was strung up. Like, he's, you know, that kind of thing. But, like, now he's fine. Like, the king cucks him down. And honestly, I think he's not going to make it through this season. I'm only on season, I believe, 3. I don't think he's going to make it because they've had too many close calls with him dying.
Oh,
First, he was going to be a human sacrifice. Then he was going to be crucified. Now, I think Ragnar is going to have to kill him. I genuinely do think Ragnar is going to kill him.
So they have Ragnar Lothbrok.
Who does it? But for sure, it's not him. He loved him way too much to ever try to kill him.
Okay, so
it's someone that's also close to Ragnar.
Floki.
Too. That's all. Yeah.
There we go. I figured Floki would kill Priest.
I mean,
honestly,
hold on. I mean, when you think about it, are you really that surprised
that
it's
Floki kills somebody? No, not Loki.
Yeah.
Floki. Though granted, he is supposed to be Loki. Yeah, he is supposed to be Loki, but even still. Wreckage ruined that for me, by the way. He's like, I hope you realize that Floki is supposed to be the personification of Loki. I'm like, well, I mean, it makes too much sense, but okay.
Wow, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah. Well, he's just like, bro, you're like already behind.
Terminator did Benji.
Yeah.
That's true. You spoiled. Well, okay, granted, you also kind of saved him from a bad movie, but still, you did spoil it. And honestly, like, I already knew it, and that's why I was like, I was trying to tell you, don't fucking say shit. But you know,
I still did him a fucking favor, though.
Yeah. He probably still doesn't see it that way. But my biggest concern would have to be, if you don't keep the similar style and tone, if you are just going to make it 100%, there's clear-cut good and evil, you're kind of wrong. I don't think you're doing it right, because that's the good point about the show, is it's morally, it is gray, which is normal for life. Like, there are good people on both sides, but, you know, morally, it is gray. It's not afraid to show how vicious these Vikings can be. So that's the biggest factor. If you can't do that while also making you care for these new characters, you've already lost me. Because that's the whole point of the show, is these people are vicious. There's a reason why they were feared. However, there's also a reason why they had as good of relationships with people as they did. Like, there's a reason why they rose to power. There's reasons why, and like they make you root for him. Like, they made me root for Ragnar. Now they're making me question his sanity. I mean, you know, it's getting to the point where it's like, they are not afraid to. It's not necessarily whether or not they're afraid to kill characters. It's not like Game of Thrones. They're not going to pull the rug from underneath you on who they kill. But I mean, there's quite a few. There's quite a few nuances with the show, and if you can't capture that same elements of it, then yeah, you're kind of on the wrong foot. And that's the only part I'm worried about with Netflix, because MGM.
Here's my thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want a, like, let's just throw a random sex scene here and there, because that's what they like to do. Netflix likes to do that a lot.
The first season of Vikings
is pretty horny. I would say at least 5 or 6 sex seasons. I would say like 5 or 6 sex scenes, maybe.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole season. Yeah.
Totally not recording them.
But the first season, it was full in the sex scenes.
Yeah.
No, like, I get that, but like Netflix really likes to, like.
Oh yeah, they push random sex scenes out of nowhere. Yeah, I agree. That is one thing that I don't
like. that like don't make sense whatsoever. Like you could have, gone through whatever you were gonna tell in a different way instead of just like, here we go.
Yeah,
Go.
pretty much. No, I agree. But yeah, my biggest thing is like, so long as Netflix keeps the general idea of what the show should be, like when it comes to how much nuance there is.
I thought it was going to be an actual show about Valhalla and everything.
No, it's just
Vikings,
called
I thought they were gonna
Valhalla.
show everything.
Yeah, they're just not gonna call it
Well, they
Vikings
call it
because of like,
Vikings.
I think for legal reasons, but I think they're like, well, we're getting the rights to it, but we're not just gonna call it Vikings because then everybody be like, well, why isn't Vikings on Netflix? It'd be like, well, it's stuck on Hulu right now, but we have Vikings Valhalla, and it's like,
Oh, it's on
okay,
Hulu?
Vikings is on Hulu.
Yeah.
Valhalla is gonna be on
Vikings
Netflix.
Valhalla. We'll just
Yeah.
have to see how they
Weird.
come with their approach. Because I mean, even then, like what if they like say like, because you're saying that it's supposed to be like kind of like intertwined or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what if they like change it up, but then later on say like it's not a part of it? Like, will you still be okay with it or no?
I think I would be.
No,
Yeah,
because then you kind of you've lost the right to call it Vikings. Even if it's
Yeah.
about Vikings, you've lost the right to call it Vikings and have that classic V. Because
'Cause
that
I
is
can
part of the logo.
See them maybe doing that. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I can see that. they
If
can
I'm
maybe
not
go that direction.
mistaken, here's the thing. If I'm not mistaken, from what I've heard, I think the show is supposed to take place a couple hundred years after where Vikings leaves off. If I'm not mistaken, maybe 100 years. I don't know. I think it's like I think it skips a couple generations. So I think Bjorn is beyond dead and all that fun jazz. I think like what he's done has already been like, it's been said, it's been
You go
done,
out the
it's now
boneless.
legend.
Akbar's
But
dead. Uber's dead. Everybody's of the
Yeah.
original family. Everybody's dead.
yeah, exactly. So I think at this point, I think it is like I don't know the exact time jump, but I know it is going to be a time jump because they want to have their own characters. They want to have new characters. So that's why they're doing new Vikings. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Yeah, I will say this. I'm cautiously optimistic. But let's go ahead and go on to our next topic. So it's official. Out of all the things that could have been announced, we are getting a Wolf Among Us 2, this time in the form of a Telltale game. And
I mean, it was confirmed.
it's been confirmed, yeah. So I will say this. There is
Might be
a
Digby again.
indie horror film called The Wolf Among Us. Now, granted, it mostly uses
we're-
political
not
undertones. No, it's actually based off the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's based off the game, and it did relatively well. It was actually pretty well received. People, audiences and critics loved it. Critics particularly loved it, but audiences gave it, they were like, yeah, it's okay. You know, here's the thing. You can't really do this type of game or even adapt it without getting a lot of comparisons to The Thing, because it's essentially just, it's oh, well, you're the werewolf. No, you're the werewolf. I'm not the werewolf, but I know one of you motherfuckers. It's essentially that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of it. It is supposed to be kind of this like, we're all isolated, we can't leave, some of us are dying. Who's the fucking werewolf? You know, that's the whole. It is essentially Clue.
It's
Who
like-
is the murderer? It's a murder mystery.
Well, it's like an adept version of Mafia, essentially. At
Yes.
this point.
Yeah, at that
Horrible.
point. Now, what shocks me is this is a DC game, which, But I mean, it's not.
Wonder
I've
if
heard
they have rights to it. Maybe.
I think it's probably they have the rights to it, and I think they're producing it. But it could have a comic series. I have no idea. But
It was a comic series first.
oh, that makes sense
believe it or
then.
not.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That makes sense then. Yeah.
Well, actually, it was called Fables, but
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
and
That's
Wolf
why.
Among Us is basically a Telltale game version of the comics.
Now that being said, I
Except-
have not seen The Wolf Among Us, or Werewolf Among Us, I think is what it's called. I have not seen the movie. I want to. If anybody can find it for me,
I know you could get the comics.
I'm talking about the movie. I want to see the movie mostly because it has a few stars that I've been interested in. Like there's some up and coming stars. I think what's his name? It's not Brian Tyree Henry.
It's like he's got multiple names.
Brian Tyree Henry. That's his full
Yeah.
name. Anyways, that being said,
TH.
yeah, I mean, I'm down for this game. If you guys ever want to get it, then we could. If we can all get it, or well, hell, if we can all get the first one, I'm more than down for us to stream that. Kind of have a lot of fun. It sounds like Among Us. It really does.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But well, you're dealing with characters from like storybooks, like like you got Snow White from Snow White, and the main character you're playing as Big B Wolf from Three Little Pigs.
So it's Once Upon a Time.
Kind of, except it's a lot.
So I think it's more of like a
whole different
messed
thing.
up version of it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's kind of like everybody from all the characters lived in kind of like an area that's like where all the stories took place and everything, called the Old Land. But then some shit happened, and then they all end up having to pack their shit and come to America, go to live in a special part of the Bronx in New York City.
Sounds pretty
I know
interesting,
something.
actually.
I've never seen it.
Big B Wolf, or basically fucking Big Bad Wolf, he actually becomes the sheriff of their little piece of
Of the area.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll
And him
definitely
and
check
Snow
this
White
out.
had kids and some shit, but
Oh,
that
that's
was
kind of cool.
before.
All right. Well, you guys
Like-
ready to go into our next topic? Because I know this is going to be a little bit
Big
spicy.
B,
Yep.
also they also any of the human-looking characters look normal, but anybody that's not normally human-looking, like the Big Bad Wolf, they use something. Well, at least in the games, they use something called glamour so they can have a human appearance.
Interesting. Anyways,
And
go ahead.
oh shit, sorry. Now I'll save it
All right.
for quickie.
All right. So our next topic is, it's official. Hulu is actually giving us another 20 episodes of Futurama. I
go.
don't know how to
Here we
feel
go.
about this.
Let's-
Here's the thing. I still stand by the fact that I think Futurama, well, granted, ending 3 different times, mind you, ended perfect on the third time. It was canceled 3 times. I get it, but still, I still think that it ended perfectly in the last season. The last time it got canceled, I think it ended well. And to bring it back for 20 episodes, fine. I guess just, kind of have I would honestly call it Meanwhile in Futurama. That's how I would call it, because it if it's not anything like that, it's new episodes. I mean, it's still going to be new episodes, but if it's not like, oh, well, hey, this happened, then we just didn't film it, that kind of thing. That's fine. I'm okay with doing something like that. That would be okay. That's maybe 20 episodes worth, just so you can get that kind of comedy and everything else like that. But I genuinely don't know. Now, I will say this: all the original creators, all the almost everybody is coming back. The only person that they don't know who is or isn't going to come back is Joe DiMaggio, and the problem with that, John DiMaggio. And the problem with that is the voice of Bender. Bender is essentially
If Bender's not there, it can bite my shiny metal ass.
that's my thought process exactly. Now, granted, they have said that if they can't get him back, they will get someone to revoice him, and that's fine. Here's the thing: I think John DiMaggio he's good, but he's only as good as however he's written. Don't get me wrong, he's hands down one of my favorite Joker's voices aside from Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah, I totally agree that Mark Hamill did voice acting for that.
Yeah.
No, there's been plenty of people that did the voice acting for Joker. But yeah, I will say this.
Joe also did Adventure Time too.
He did.
John.
He did Jake the dog.
Jake.
He is the voice of Jake the dog. He's the voice of a lot of animated characters. I mean, he is a very prolific.
Disenchanted. He's
Yeah.
King Zog.
He is King
Yep.
Zog, and
King
apparently,
Zog, which
yeah,
is a joy.
yeah. I believe that takes place in the same universe as Futurama. At least it's very heavily
it's
hinted
supposed to
at.
be.
Really?
Well, essentially, it's supposed to be like, because there's Easter eggs and stuff, like little hints in there. But like, essentially, it's supposed to be like another, like time period, or like another like world, essentially, like Futurama, and then you have
Disenchant.
over here on the other ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
Disenchant.
Oh yeah, the Netflix series that was on Netflix, right? The one about
Yeah.
the demon, the princess. Yeah, I remember that one.
Beanie.
I will say this: I have watched a good chunk of it, at least the first season, and it's pretty choppy for me. Like, there's some
The
genuinely
side
good.
characters.
Yeah, the side characters make the
Like-
show. I will agree.
Yeah, essentially, that's what I'm
Kinda
saying.
like
Like the side
Futurama,
characters
but-
make the show. Like,
That's
if I'm-
beyond the point.
I
Futurama
think
was
the
never
side
really
characters-
made by its side characters. Don't get me wrong; its side characters
No,
help
just
progress
side
the
characters
whole.
accentuate the
Well,
main
yeah,
characters.
yeah. But it's not like the show is not as good without the side characters. I'm not saying it wouldn't be. I'm just saying like it. Let me rephrase that.
Elfo and Lucy
show-
are the ones that carry the show.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Oh yeah,
You know what?
Alpha and Lucy
Billy-
definitely share the show.
Billy
Fair.
West, like, he's
Yeah.
a fucking versatile VA.
Yeah, I will say this: like most of my favorite jokes in the first season have come from Elfo and Lucy, particularly with Elfo. Whenever he's eventually getting to it, it's like, what was it? It was like it was really good comedy. It was. I think he ends up going to war, and I think he's like,
Yeah.
I like war, or something, and then it eventually gets down to like he's like, no, I hate it. I forget what it was that happened, but like, yeah, that actually genuinely made me laugh. I'm like, okay, that's pretty damn funny.
I
Would
don't
be-
know why, but they do very good writing for both of them. But when it comes with Feeny, I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, Feeny is just. Okay, I will say this. I've been told, because I know what the first season kind of cliffhangs on. I've been told it's a really good bookend of the season. Like, I heard the end of the first season is if that doesn't hook you, you're not gonna like the whole show. But I've been told it's a really good character development moment for her. However, like
Here's the
I've
thing,
been told they
it's-
kind of
that's- it's one of
retcon it
those
in the second season.
shows- There's one of those shows where it's like you need to get through the first season. You know, it's kind of stupid to say that, or it's like kind of like a big red flag. But honestly, like if you take it for what it is, and at least try to enjoy it for what it is, and not like kind of like try to compare it to Futurama, because that's what I was doing, and that's why I didn't enjoy it from the like first beginning parts. And then once I started taking back of like, no, this is like its own separate thing. It's part of the universe, but it's not Futurama. I started enjoying it a lot more, and then that's when I started getting a lot more addicted to it. And also, you can't burn yourself out with that show, especially what I learned with the show. Don't try to like pump out of them if you like kind of like some jokes don't land or something. I took breaks on the first season,
Yeah,
so
I
but
might
it
give
gets
it
better.
another
I'm not gonna
rewatch.
lie. I'm not gonna lie, dude. It's totally worth watching once you get past the first season. The first season, I'm not gonna lie, it's okay. It could have been done a little bit more better.
Right.
With other characters and not just having Elfo and Lucy kind of like essentially carry the show. Well, also King Zog too. I mean, I'm not gonna discredit, but King Zog also that first season he does.
It's John
carry the show, too.
DiMaggio. If you have him even as a
So,
brief
I mean-
cameo, he's gonna be the shining star of the whole
mean,
thing. Dude,
that
he
was
did
also
only
the
like
fun part of
5 lines in an episode of Rick and Morty, and he carried that fucking episode. I'm sorry. Like that's
But-
pretty good.
but from what I've heard he has been enjoying that role specifically. Like he has
Oh yeah.
been enjoying it.
Back onto
very well.
Futurama though. Do you guys have any thoughts, comments, concerns on getting an additional 20 episodes? I'm cautiously
nine more.
optimistic.
I hope it's just those 20 episodes
I
and
do
they're
too.
not looking for more. I hope that they're not looking for like this is kind of like a test run of see if people still want it, and then they'll try to see if they can pump out more episodes. I think let's just wait even before you even say that and just pump out those episodes. Give it about maybe like a few months and see how people are feeling.
Yeah, test the waters with it, and if it's received well, then maybe
because
do a spin-off. I'm not saying continue Futurama.
Because
I'm saying end it in these 20 episodes, but maybe use it as a springboard to do spin-offs. I'm not saying set up spin-offs. I'm just saying maybe use it as a springboard. Maybe we can follow Zoidberg through his own series, like make it a series of shorts. Make Zoidberg have a series of shorts, you know, why not?
Or Bender.
Bender would be awesome, but you have to get Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah.
I would fucking love to watch a show that's just about Bender.
Dude, I would love
like
a show about
like-
Zoidberg. Zoidberg would be awesome. I would love a Zoidberg show. Because, I mean, he's genuinely the best part. I mean, any episode he's in, he's one of my favorite parts. Don't get me wrong, Bender's definitely the standout, but I think Bender would get annoying way too fast. I think Bender's well done in small increments because honestly, Bender's big score kind of got on my nerves.
All the directive, I realized I looked up at all of those were supposed to be direct-to-video movies.
Well, yeah, and they were. They did those outside of they did those in that they had like a year-long gap in between whatever season they got canceled on and then whenever they got revived. So I will say this: the last season has its ups and downs for sure. There's some really bad episodes in that last season by Futurama standards, but it saves itself in the last episode. Like that last episode where Fry and Leela stop time completely and then just grow old together. That was that's where I'm like I'm cautiously optimistic because I love Futurama. I would love to see more content from Futurama because, well, yeah, like I said, I love Futurama. But that being said, I also kind of don't because Futurama it's done. It's been done. You've ended it perfectly, but you know, if you got to do 20 more episodes and you want to use it as a springboard to set up more shows, give me a Zoidberg show. I'm telling you, it would be good.
Come up with a clever way to retcon the fact of the ending because
more Zap Brannigan.
Dude, I would love a Zap Brannigan show. That would be hilarious. That would be so funny.
Who is his partner? Who is his partner?
Oh, fucking shit. I forget his name.
I'm just saying, it's GIF.
Have a show with
of those two. That would be hilarious. No, I'll tell you what else. Have a show following what's their names? The sports or the newscasters. That would be funny. Like, there's so many different shows you could do in the Futurama universe and
you can still put cameos of the original cast
exactly.
too,
like honestly, like I'm saying, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna die on the Zoidberg show hill because I love Zoidberg. Zoidberg is one of my favorite characters. Don't get me wrong, I love Bender, but Zoidberg deserves better.
Who would be his perfect sidekick? Zoidberg.
Honestly, create a whole new character and give Zoidberg a niece or nephew that wants to follow in his profession, and he's teaching him all the wrong things.
Oh, yeah.
The comedy writes itself.
What about a show about Nibbler and his race?
Bro, Nibbler. Nibbler would be such a good character for a show.
They did an episode of his planet and his race, but I feel like Nibbler needs. They partnered Nibbler with someone. I can't remember who.
Nibbler and Zoidberg, bro. Nibbler and Zoidberg. Yes. 100%. Make it a Zoidberg show with Nibbler as a sidekick. You have a fucking show. And you can have Leela and Fry pop in every now and then, honestly. Yeah. Honestly, I would love Fry's grandson. I would love his great uncle or great nephew or whatever. Farnsworth. I would love a Farnsworth show.
That's what I was just saying.
Farnsworth and fucking Zoidberg.
And Q-Bert.
Bro, that writes itself.
Maybe also Hermes.
Hermes show. I would enjoy a Hermes show. Kind of give it like that Office Space, give it an Office Space vibe. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
If you could just find this and get it, that would be
good
great.
news, everyone. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and file this paperwork. If you could do that, that'd be great. And then you just have Zoidberg. You still have Zoidberg just do. I swear to God, if they try to steal my stapler, I'm going to use my pincher claws on them.
I mean,
You gotta admit, I can do a pretty good Zoidberg.
I
Anyways.
still
Okay.
love the ending. The ending was hilarious of like how like they're opening the portal and then like
Oh yeah, it's like,
Professor-
all right, get me in meat bags or don't. I don't care.
yeah, Professor's like, is like I was able to fix the time machine, and they're like, what?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then he's like, come on, we gotta jump back, and then
But
you're
they-
like,
Bro,
Would they still be old though?
the Fountain of Youth episode.
Oh yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. It's like, are you the right age? Even older. Right. Oh, no, that wasn't good. That wasn't
The Marone being
I just hope that they can figure out a way to put those episodes like
Oh, yeah.
try to like fit it in.
Honestly, yeah. I still think this would be a good spring break. This would be a good springboard for spin-off shows, but I think we're going to go ahead and go into our next topic. So-
we're not probably getting it until next year though.
No, I don't think we're going to get it until next year. I think they'll start like working on it this year, and then we might get it end of this year, beginning of next year.
I wouldn't be surprised
They
if
will get
panels
Star
right
System
now, like
releasing
this
as well.
summer,
Yeah.
people bring it up.
I
People
think we
bring it
might
up in
get
a
some
bunch
like
of,
rough
Comic-Con
animation.
and, like, different
I think we
panels.
should probably get like some rough animation and some teasers by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Because right now they're trying to get everybody's scheduling and everything else done well enough to get it started. But let's go ahead and go into our next topic. We have our first official trailer for Jurassic World Dominion. And I'm not going
I
to
got to
lie,
watch it.
as a
Oh,
person
enough
that has
of it.
been skeptical of the entire Jurassic World franchise, this
just
trailer
want-
kind of
I
won
just-
me over.
I'll go see
Same
it,
here.
but then after
Same
that,
here.
no
I
more.
watched part 2 to actually get into it.
Fallen Kingdom,
I
I'm
saw the
telling you,
first
you're
one,
gonna
I just
hate
didn't
it.
watch the second
You're
one.
gonna hate it. I'm telling you, I loved the first Jurassic World. I despise Fallen Kingdom.
I did not like
The only
Fallen
reason why I
Kingdom.
will
Fallen
ever
Kingdom
buy
was,
Fallen
like,
Kingdom is
not
to
good.
have a like the only reason why I would ever buy Fallen Kingdom is if they have like a whole 6-film set. I'll buy that,
Mhm.
and then I'll just have to live with Fallen Kingdom, whatever. But it's kind of like there's what's the way to put it? I do not like Mission Impossible 2. I think it is overblown. It is hilarious, but it is not my favorite Mission Impossible movie. Mission Impossible 3 is kind of boring. Do
think
I
any of
still
them are
have
boring
them?
unless it's the first
Fuck
one.
yes, I do, because I have the first 5. I have all 6 films, and I bought the first 5 in a box set. So,
Oh wow.
you know, like,
I mean,
yeah.
you could say the same thing with Indiana Jones. Like the fourth Indiana Jones, a lot of people did not like it. I
Actually,
think it was okay.
I think it was okay. I'm right there on the same
I
camp
think
with
it
you.
was
I think it was
good.
okay.
I
it's not
didn't
great.
think it was like their best
No.
movie for Indiana Jones
No, it wasn't.
than the original like 3 that came out.
Well,
But-
yeah, no, I
Nazis
still
didn't
stand
know
by
what
the
Russians at
fact
the time.
that I think Temple of Doom is the only problem I have with Temple of Doom is it's too dark, like in tone.
Like the
I
Justice
think it's a
League.
little too dark. No, I mean not even like a Zack Snyder kind of dark. I'm talking about like it's fucked up, but I
It's grim,
respect it.
yeah.
I respect it for how grim it is, because there are some fun set pieces.
I wonder if I could
Yeah.
call him Christian for my computer screen.
You try it, bitch. I'm gonna cut your hand off. Anyways, yeah. That being said, hands down, my favorite Indiana Jones movie is The Last Crusade. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know it's cliche. I know it's cliche, but it
No, I know,
is
I like it,
the
too.
I'm
best
not a big
Indiana
fan- I'm
Jones
not a
movie.
big
It is
fan.
top
I like-
tier Indiana
I like
Jones.
the Indiana Jones movies, but it's fair to be like I like the last one. I thought the last one was a lot more better.
You
than
talking
the
about
first- the
Kingdom of the
first
Crystal
one.
Skull? You think
Fuck
Kingdom
that
of the
one.
Crystal
Yeah.
Skull was better than Last Crusade?
It was just the graphics. The graphics got me more interested in the movie than the other ones did.
Mm-mm.
Eh,
I don't give a
And
fuck if
I'm
you
worried-
guys think. The fuck?
Look,
I enjoyed the
I'm
movie.
worried about the
fucking
next
alien
movie
bitch
that they're
Bitch.
coming
made it
out.
Stupid.
Are you gonna say that? Are you hold up? Are you gonna say that when they come out with the next movie, next Indiana Jones movie that comes out?
Bro, the
Lord, I
only
like
reason why I'm
dragons.
gonna go see Indiana Jones 5 is because it's not to go see Harrison Ford's corpse be thrown on screen again. It is literally because Mads Mikkelsen is playing the villain. That's it. That's my only reason why I'm seeing it. I don't give a dick about anything else.
Harrison Ford's not even gonna use his own stunts.
We dealt with the Russians instead.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I would love it if they dealt with the Russians. However, they're going into the 60s, and in the 60s, Germany wasn't seen as much as bad guys. I would love to see Russians. Do not get me wrong, because that's like peak Cold War. That being said, you know what else was the biggest issue in the 60s? There was two. I'm going to tell you. Women's rights and racial rights. And you know who they got for a writer? I'll tell you. They got what's her name from Fleabag. Nothing against the show Fleabag. Decent show. However, that being said, this writer, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I believe is her name. Oh, and James Mangold is directing it. So that's the only other saving grace is the guy who directed Logan is directing this. So, fair enough. But that being said, the writer is also starring in this. His two lead co-stars is Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Well, no, actually, she isn't starring in this one. I don't think. But he has two females as his co-stars.
Lucky.
One of them is, and nothing against her, I think one of them is played by Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright's gonna be in this one?
I think so.
Shit.
Did she play?
It's not gonna be bad then. I thought Letitia Wright.
I think she did. No. Here's the problem. It's nothing against her as an actress. She's a fine actress. I'm talking about the writing. I think the writing... Okay, here's the thing. You have an old white guy in the 60s when women's rights and civil rights were such a big fucking deal. Also, this is a modern Hollywood movie. Do the fucking math.
Yeah.
He should have had, instead of having, like, don't get me wrong, Mutt was a good idea. He should have had a daughter instead of a son, if I'm going to be honest.
Yes and no. Here's the thing. I think... Okay, I know Shia LaBeouf was hot shit at the time of Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And to be fair, he's still fun to make fun of. Anyways, I don't think he's a bad addition. I don't want to see him as another Indiana Jones. That's final. I don't want to see him. But that being said, I think if he was recasted... I think if he's recasted, oh no, they're most definitely going to. However, I think if they had casted anybody but Shia LaBeouf, I don't think it would have gotten as much hate. I genuinely don't. I think people would have been like,
he did a good job in this movie.
He did fine. I'm just saying everybody was hating on Shia LaBeouf because of Transformers. This was like right at the peak of like people complaining about online. This was right around the peak of that starting. So
I think he did a good job. I think his writing should have been better. Writing and the story
for sure.
The story for Mutt and writing in general should have been better.
The story wasn't my biggest problem about Mutt. Mutt being an illegitimate son of from Mary and Indy, perfectly fine with that. I'm okay with that. That makes sense. Was I pissed at the fact that we didn't get Mary until the fourth movie and she was fucking old lady? Yeah. I mean, granted, I was a kid, but now I kind of am. I mean, I was like, okay, here's the thing. First Indiana Jones experience, 100%, and you're going to hate me for this, was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Ah, crap.
I was like 8 years old, Joe. You can kiss my ass. I didn't even know what Indiana Jones was. I saw the trailer, and I saw it looked really fucking cool, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a Transformers guy. I was 8. You can't fucking blame me.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, that was your first
Indiana Jones movie. Now, granted, I have since then seen the other movies.
He bought the set, and he was like,
You're gonna watching this.
I'm gonna make
my
you
parents
cultured.
weren't like that.
Yeah, he's like, he made me watch the first, the second, and the third one.
You know what's funny is the second movie is technically a prequel to the first movie.
Yeah,
it takes place I think like 3 or 4 years before the first one. So, anyways, that being said, back to Jurassic World Dominion.
No.
I think
I'm gonna like this movie.
I think I'm genuinely going to like it. Yeah, no, and I will say this: they did say that they're going back to their horror roots, and I can see that through this trailer. This trailer, I mean, bro, I'm like, damn, there's some intense shit in this.
Get nasty.
I think they're going to kill Claire. I really do. I think they're going to. They're teasing it way too much in the trailers. And I mean, granted, there's only one trailer.
I think they're gonna try to like kill, not like really kill, but like try to kill some of the main OG characters. But it's not. They're not going to.
I don't think
they're going to try.
The only one I would be okay with would be Ian Malcolm. I'm sorry. But I think it should be a heroic sacrifice.
I might like it.
I think they're going to. I think they're going to try, just so it's kind of like a buildup of like, kind of like a swerve in a sense of like.
Didn't they kill off one of the OG characters from the first movie? The guy who was driving the helicopter. I can't remember what his name.
Who are you talking about?
No,
he was in the second. He was in the second or third movie of Jurassic Park.
No.
He was in the second one. They were driving the green cars, the green Jeeps on the tracks.
Fuck.
He had the curly hair, the glasses. It was he plays in a fucking apartment app commercial.
Yeah, that's Dr. Ian Malcolm. No, they haven't killed him off yet.
No, he's alive.
In the helicopter. Then I thought that was Ian.
No, that was a completely new character in Jurassic World. In Jurassic World, that was a completely new character.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I thought they killed him off.
No.
Oh well.
No.
Jeff Goldblum didn't even show up for the first movie. He didn't show up till the second one, and they had to drunken Jeff Goldblum to do that. But yeah,
they shot him for like the third one, right? I remember he was in the third one.
Yeah. No, he's in the second one.
He was in the first one and the third.
He was in. Okay, you're talking about the originals. He was in the first two.
Yeah, the originals.
He was only in the first two.
That's what I'm saying.
The ones that were in the first and third one were Laura Dern and Sam Neill.
Well, I'm not talking about like Jurassic Park 3. I can't remember what the original one is called. It's with Sarah. I can't remember what her.
Oh, you mean Sarah?
Yeah.
That's Lost World. That's Lost World, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, the first
hands
one
down the worst Jurassic Park movie. You can fight me on that. Hey, you love or hate the third movie, at least it was gracefully short. It was only an hour and a half. Lost World was 2.5 fucking hours. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, but is Lost World the one with the dude with the parachute scene in the beginning, or is this
that's Jurassic Park 3? Hey, hold on one second, guys. Continue
the big van or whatever.
Oh yeah.
It's where they have it's when they're trying to kind of like extract a bunch of the dinosaurs back and try to like capture them and try to do, essentially the bad guys are trying to like manipulate again the DNA of the dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
Hence leading up to Jurassic World in the first place. So
I mean, I think if this last movie's good, then it's good. If not, then it's not. I'm not really a big fan of Jurassic World, the Jurassic series, because it didn't really catch my attention. I thought the original ones were good because I liked it, but other than that, I really didn't catch. After the first one came out, I didn't watch the second one because it was just like, oh, you guys are coming out with another one. I guess.
Fallen Kingdom gave me a bad taste in my mouth. I like all original 3, even though Christian hates the last one.
Here's the thing. I don't necessarily hate any of the Jurassic Park movies, though granted, Fallen Kingdom comes very, 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 very close. I mean, it's like a centimeter away from being my most hated movie.
Is more worse than the third one, than the Jurassic World.
So bad.
Oh, Jurassic Park 3 is a fucking masterpiece compared to Fallen Kingdom. I'm sorry, but here's the thing. I'll even take Lost World over to Fallen Kingdom.
Well, that's what I meant.
That's Lost World.
Here's the thing. You want to know the real reason why Fallen Kingdom? You want to know the real reason why Fallen Kingdom pissed me off? What was the number one thing in the marketing?
Fuck.
Dinosaurs in our fucking world. You know what was barely in the fucking movie? Dinosaurs in our fucking world.
Dinosaurs.
And for what little bit there was, 90% of the shit you saw in the trailer was the last 5 fucking minutes, and it was done over with a voiceover. That's what pissed me off. I'm sorry. Fuck you. You got my ass into a seat for doing that. By doing that. And now, granted, this one is at least following through on it. I'm glad. But, you know, you kind of already pissed me off a little bit. Now, granted, you had a pretty fucking phenomenal trailer. I will give you credit where credit's due. I'm probably going to enjoy this movie. However, I have no idea what the fucking plot is. I don't even know. It's not even nostalgia. Honestly, I think it's like, okay, A, we're seeing feathered dinosaurs. B, we're seeing dinosaurs in the snow. That's cool. We're seeing dinosaurs in the desert. Even cooler. You know, we're seeing all these different types of dinosaurs. We're seeing all these different types of environments with dinosaurs. And this is literally going to take place in it. I think it's like a 5-year time jump or something. Like, shit, dude. We've had to live with dinosaurs for 5 years. That's mind-blowing. Man, like, that's awesome. Just to think about that. And
I would love to see it because I want to know what happened in that 5-year gap.
Oh no,
Like,
Fallen Kingdom will not tell you anything. Fallen Kingdom will just tell you how the freaking dinosaurs got there, and it's stupid as shit.
One,
Supposedly,
the last movie that they're coming out with, I would like to see it because I want to know, in that 5 years, like, how is it now? Are there T-Rex killing people? Are there dinosaurs eating people? Are they coexisting together?
Well, Fallen Kingdom was advertised as like kind of like,
the dinosaurs are coming into our world.
The apocalypse is, you know, that kind of apocalypse is here. Is like the dinosaurs are taking back.
Oh no, the original island is under a volcano. Oh no, you know, that kind of shit. I'm like, okay, here's the thing. Out of all the bullshit contrivances of that entire fucking movie, and trust me, there are fucking plenty. That's the one I actually gave it pass to. I was like, okay, makes sense. There's been plenty of dormant volcanoes that have become active like that. I will agree. That's probably not too far-fetched. However, how they treat the lava? It's up to you. Theoretically, every single character should have died. I'm sorry, every main character should have died because they were that close to lava. Chris Pratt especially, bro. His ass should have been halfway melted to the ground before he even woke up. I'm sorry. There's literally, like, okay, he gets paralyzed by, like, a tranquilizer dart, and he's having to, like, use his whole body. It's a great sense. It's a great moment of physical comedy from Chris Pratt, which I enjoy seeing. However, he's, like, that close to fucking lava. Like, okay, lava is super fucking hot. You get that close, you're dead.
Hold on, they say your skin you really don't really melt in lava. It was more of a burning sensation you get from lava.
Oh no,
well, not just burning sensation, but less air.
You incinerate,
yeah,
and then you don't melt. You more or less just disintegrate in lava, and that's the problem. Now I will say this. Yes,
sure,
because they actually say, "Oh yeah." That Brachiosaurus that you saw, like, on the dock, you know, whining and everything else like that, that was the original one. That was, like, the first one you ever saw. I'm like, wow. That's heartbreaking. In this piece of shit movie... It's like, bro, you fucking what? You had the balls to do that in your fucking movie? That's like, okay, I don't know.
Cast member?
Yeah, okay, so that's kind of like, here's the thing. That's kind of like you remember those TikTok things where everybody's like, oh, 2020 is like, you know, they start doing the whole like, you thought you could leave without saying goodbye, and they start beating the shit out of it. That's essentially the same vibe I got out of this. It's like, oh, you're gonna kill off that.
You thought it couldn't get.
You thought you could get some like cheap emotional shit out of this? Hold my fucking beer, bitch. You know, just like that. That's the vibe I gave it. Hey Tyron, you've been really, really quiet, buddy. You okay?
He's lurking in the background.
Yeah, probably.
Just like I do.
But that being said, any more thoughts, comments, concerns on this trailer?
Can we be done with it?
This is supposed to be the last movie. But go ahead, Tyron.
For fuck's sake, please be the last one.
I just watched the first fucking few and I just kind of left it at that.
Fair enough.
So every other freaking to every other Jurassic Park movie that ever came after the first original. Once I just kind of never watched. So
That's what I told Christian. I was like, I watched the original ones. The other ones I can like.
the reason why I've been so fucking quiet. The reason why I've been so fucking quiet is because there's been this dude that's been just kind of sitting at the end of this fucking road here, and I've just been kind of staring at him. He's been kind of staring at me. So that's what I've been doing
What
the whole
the hell?
entire time.
And I looked at her, and she looked at me,
He's like,
and I
at
looked
me.
at her, and she looked at me. That kind of vibe.
locking
Mind
eyes
you, I'm
together.
not myself here, so like if this dude decided to come charging at my car, then he has something on him, then I'm fucked at that point.
Yeah.
Because I can't leave through the front gate, I have to leave the back way.
Lock your doors.
Yeah.
Hide your kids and hide your wife.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Playing cards against humanity? I mean, what?
All right. Well, if you guys are ready,
That's
we're gonna
fine.
go ahead and
Let's
go
talk.
into our final 2 topics for the night.
Let's do
Our
it.
first out of the final 2 is Peacemaker episode 7 premiered this Thursday,
Holy
and
shit.
we're gearing up for our finale. And yeah, I'm
Shit's
super.
about to fucking go
Here's the thing.
down.
I will say this: the first 2 episodes, wasn't really a fan. It intrigued me. I'm not saying they were bad. I'm just saying I was like, oh well, this is okay. And then the show continued, and I kept giving it every week. I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this intro. I'm starting to like this vibe. Granted, Vigilante is the only thing that's holding this show together. Don't get me wrong, John Cena is too, but like Vigilante's holding the show together. He's the reason why I watch. I don't really give a dick about Peacemaker, though you have redeemed him for me. Kudos. Anyways, that being said, this episode, never thought I'd cry over a bug. Not gonna lie. That's yeah.
I was like, I knew what was about
I
to happen.
knew what was gonna
I knew-
happen
As,
just
as
because
soon as he was like,
So they killed the
as
dude
soon as this
then?
man
as
was
soon
like,
as he was like
let me
zip
go in
tying,
there.
yeah. As soon as he
Yeah.
was zip tying the freaking community, like as soon as he was doing that, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, he's done. Like but then I was like, but here's the thing: I thought once they shot the heart, I was like, oh well, he's just gonna suffocate in there and die, and then he crawls out, and I'm like, oh no.
He crawls because he tried to do a last ditch effort to run, but I'm like, I feel like he should have stayed in there and like hid.
He should have, but
But
I feel
I
like he
digress.
probably also wouldn't have had any oxygen. And I think that would have been the
Yeah.
problem. I think he was actually suffocating in there, so I don't think he could have lasted much longer.
So was the head dude, was he a butterfly too then?
Who, the
guy
black
who
dude?
was in charge of the team?
The black dude?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
No.
essentially.
He was a butterfly. But he was on the side
Which
of
we
like.
did not know from the beginning of this.
No,
that was the one thing that caught me off.
But I will say this: the one thing that kind of hinted towards it is he takes an explosion pretty much to the face, and he just kind of goes like that's a pretty good hint towards it. And they even say that that's how
Yeah.
what's her name caught on to it. So I will say this:
Well, also-
Dakanamos has grown on me. I kind of like him.
Mhm.
He's kind of fun. He's a little bit of like he's kind of like that one. Okay, I'm gonna make a really unfair comparison. Really to the
Uh-oh.
character. He's kind of like Joe. Just severely less autistic.
Dye beard, you're gonna call it.
It's raised a finger up, but I'm gonna allow it.
You know it
You
was
know
a
the
It's
funny
good
thing is-
more
joke.
higher functioning, but
You know, the funny thing is it blurred the middle finger for him.
Yeah,
so
it did. It was just like this. It was like hold on, wait.
it
It was
the
like
finger out, but you know what? You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Probably.
it was like this. Ah, damn. It actually isn't cropping out my finger for more than 5 seconds. But anyways, that being said, yeah, I could have said he was higher functioning, but it's funnier to say that. Anyways, that being said, Daikanomos is kind of the Joe of their group. He gets shit on, but he has his moments.
Me, I'm just a sexy genius.
Now that being said,
I've
I will
enjoyed all
say
the characters.
Gallows is our not Gallows, sorry, Shadow is our vigilante.
Yeah.
Shadow is vigilante.
Really?
Gallows, honestly, I'm gonna say it. Gallows is
Teddy.
fucking eagly.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Asian.
I can fucking see that.
We don't have anybody.
Which
Is nobody's the white dragon. Nobody's
It's the
that
eagle.
racist.
It's the bald. It's the bald eagle. The one that's
He's-
like very
he's the
friendly,
eagle
ugly,
sidekick.
not-
hate you.
Hey,
I fucking hate
bro,
you.
I'm sorry. You just
I
kind of
fucking
are.
hate you.
Um,
How?
you just are. Your support, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, you fucking dick.
I mean, hey, I'm gonna say it. I'm not Peacemaker. I'm not gonna say that.
I leave that to Lewis. Lewis is more peacemaker than anything.
Even then, Lewis isn't really Peacemaker.
No.
No,
Not
Lewis
really.
is more like a. He's actually Joe and Lewis are kind of like Teconomos. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
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 Somebody call me fucking eagly, bro. You made me that hurt my fucking feelings.
I could also be vigilante
I'm a
too.
fucking
because I
bird. Are you
got,
fucking
like,
kidding me?
I still have
Took
like
Bailey,
don't get me wrong,
Bailey and the fucking the
I feel like
sidekick, the other
I'm
sidekick
more
said that.
towards vigilante because of how like the way I think of like
So there's
if I
certain
were to be that
situations.
character, I'm like, yeah, that's how it act, and that's how I'd get myself into situations. like
Right.
that. So
All right. Well,
Basically, just
I hope they have a plan for if they're going to if they're going to end the season in general, like just not have any more like a season 2, or they better find a way to kind of like keep us excited about if they're going to plan to have a season 2. So
I don't.
that's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing. I don't necessarily want it to end with one season because I kind of like this group. However, that being said,
I didn't even end it with one season. though.
I don't think Vigilante's gonna make it. I think Vigilante's gonna die.
You
Yeah.
think he's going to take the bullet?
I think he's
Is
gonna
either
take a bullet.
Eagly is gonna die or Vigilante. I feel like
I
either one
feel
of
like
those guys
either
should die.
Vigilant, and I honestly thought he was gonna die in this episode. I'm not even gonna lie. As soon as I,
I
saw
was
that
surprised
explosion,
he actually fucking.
yeah, as soon as I
off
saw that
his dad.
explosion, oh, bro, that fucking that didn't shock me because honestly, they hinted at it in episode
Well, I mean,
4.
I knew it was coming, but I didn't like realize how like.
How sudden it would be. Yeah, I will agree on that.
Yeah.
That actually caught me off guard. I was like, oh well, fuck. All
that-
right, there
well,
goes
that's what I meant.
T1000.
I was like, okay,
Yeah.
he just said. Fuck.
There goes Granddad T1000. Anyways, but yeah, I will say this: I knew he wasn't gonna make it out of the season alive. It was cool to see the White Dragon uniform though. That was actually legit kind of cool.
Yes.
It looked a little rubbery to me. That's my only problem with it.
mean,
phrasing of this is confusing.
I
Yeah.
still do think he should die though. I don't think the White Dragon should fucking die in a horrible way.
I mean, he literally gets shot point blank in the forehead by his son. So
Yep.
Oh
And
shit!
I
All right.
mean, he even tempted him.
yeah, he's like, "Come on, do
pussy,
it,
you won't."
do it, you pussy." And he's like, "You won't." And I was like, "Oh well, fuck, he's done." I did like how you could hear the blood pouring out of the back of his head while he was on there, and you just hear. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's clever. I like that. That just kind of just that kind of extra step of like, it's not necessarily tasteless. It is just more. It's like tasteful gore. Kinda, you know. Like I will say this, I commemorate this show and really DC as a whole for kind of accepting this. Like, oh yeah, we can make rated R shit. Fuck yeah. Now, granted, Birds of Prey.
Gave me a kick-ass.
Yeah.
Gave me a kick-ass like
I will say this:
humor
Birds
to
of
it. but I was
Prey
like,
was not my favorite. However, I appreciate
done
Birds
better
of
with
Prey.
that.
Oh no, the story could have been a lot better. I agree. However,
Yeah, I
I
feel like they
appreciate
should've
Birds
done a
of
lot better
Prey
with that
for
film.
its
That
cinematography.
movie.
I loved the Birds of Prey cinematography. Like that was a lot of fun. I've always been a fan of the chick who plays Huntress. I can't remember her name right now. I've always been a fan of her since Scott Pilgrim, to be perfectly honest.
And the
But
lady that plays Ramona.
yeah, I can't remember her name right now. But yeah. Hey guys, go ahead and continue to talk about that. I have got to. I'll be right back.
Okay, go back to your little hole there, gremlin.
I was I was losing it on the fact of knowing what the cow looked like, and then I was like, I lost it. I
don't know. I have to watch it. I have to watch these
Dude,
next couple episodes, bro.
Just wait until you figure out how the cow looks like. I fucking lost it, bro. I was like,
which one is the episode where they do the house? They killed the senator. Which one is that one?
The senator one was, I believe.
Was it episode 3?
That might have been. No.
4?
I think that was either 4 or 5. 4 or 5.
All right, because if it's 4, all I gotta do is watch 5, 6, and 7. Then I'm caught up on it.
Because I know it's not 3 because they kind of still held back on like kind of getting vigilante in it. I think.
Yeah.
So. But no, I loved the show. I think they've done everything right. I enjoyed it. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I thought I would because of how they ended the last Suicide Squad movie. So, but
I thought he died. I fucking when they were like, oh, they're making a Peacemaker episode. So are they gonna make it like before everything that happened with him in Suicide Squad or what? Well, they're like, no, we're gonna make it right after Suicide Squad. Wait, I thought the dude died. The dude got shot in the throat and had a building fall on him, and all the dude had was a broken collarbone. You fucking kidding me? What the fuck?
Well, I mean, he didn't technically die, but like it wasn't like before Suicide Squad. It was like after, because that's what the first episode explains. It's like after he just got fucking shot and. That's what I was saying.
I was like, the dude got shot in the throat and then had a building fall on him. How did you survive that, bro?
Magic. That's what
magic.
I mean, it's not impossible. That's part of that world.
Yeah. Still, like, I think just Christian, because you saw what the cow looks like, right? For Peacemaker, because they revealed what the cow looks like in the latest episode. Yeah, I was fucking dying because it just reminded me of DreamWorks Monsters. Aliens versus Monsters, I think. Yeah. Aliens. You understand which I can't remember his name, but it's hilarious. I was like, that's the first thing that came into my head, and I was like, y'all are wrong for that. It was a caterpillar one thing? I don't even know if that was a caterpillar or not. Insectosaurus. That's what if you watch Monster vs. Aliens DreamWorks and if you know what Insectosaurus looks like, it's literally what the cow looks like.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my fucking god. Wait, before or after the butterfly? Before or after the butterfly change? Because you got Insectosaurus before and then after. Before?
It's before.
That shit's funny as fuck.
Exactly like that. It's exactly like that. and like different udders, like it was like 6 udders or whatever.
Oh wow.
I didn't like that caught me off guard. I was like, they really went detailed on those udders. I was like, we're like, why? I was like, why?
I'm probably gonna catch up on it.
I got none.
I just hope they don't butcher the ending. Whether if they are gonna have a season 2 or not, I just hope that they finish the season strong. I've enjoyed it. So. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh shit, son.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
gay. Wait. Wasn't he one of the bad guys that ended up being gay and killed by the Ghostface security? Oh shit.
He was also in Riverdale too. He was.
Oh wait, he's that guy?
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, if I go back and look at Riverdale and remember that, like, oh yeah, oh shit.
I feel like they shouldn't have been turned. That's all I gotta say. I feel like they shouldn't have gone. I feel like they got turned too quickly. Is what I'm trying to say.
I feel like.
Mhm.
Wait,
No,
what are you talking
100%. I think here's my thing. I think they should have kept one person, like another person from the cops turning, and just go with that instead of having all of them turn. Oh yeah, it literally looked like everybody was having seizures essentially.
about? Who's the superhero for that area though? From where the Peacemaker lives at.
No, he's supposed to
No.
be the one who's like
Oh
hero, but not the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaotic neutral.
Only reason why, because usually there's always the hero of each area of one villain at least, even if it's a lame ass hero.
Oh man.
Yeah,
You don't know
that
how
would-
lame Titan is to this guy, but then right around.
Huh? Yeah. I think Pear Lucky would do
Yeah.
better. Because Ryan Random will make him funny, but I think Pear Lucky will make him more of the lame feeling that they get from Kite Man.
That was like
Yeah.
banging Poison Ivy.
Who,
After him at the end of the show.
if they
I
were
felt bad for him.
if they were to implement another character from DC that didn't have to be tied into Suicide Squad to kind of like make the second season of Peacemaker like somewhat interesting, who do you think would be a good like character but also actor as well too to play though?
That character needs to be.
But isn't
Yeah,
Batmite
that guy
a
has
short
not
dude
been
though?
seen
Like, isn't he
one.
Batmite a midget?
And a car.
Oh yeah, because he's a he's a
I
dimensional being. That's
I
right.
did a movie sent by watching
Yeah.
The Master of Disguise.
Ugly.
But just Batmite or no, like I'm also like what's another character you think that would make sense? Yeah, that what would make sense, like what could mesh in like because of how the humor is and like what's some like one would work could fit essentially, because if you just put someone in there, like it'll kind of feel awkward.
Are
So
we
it has
talking
to,
about
like,
hero, villain, or anti-hero? Or are we talking about all three?
doesn't matter. Any doesn't matter. Anything that could fit in Peacemaker that I feel like would like can make sense to kind of like lead into like
Who's the most
maybe have a-
ridiculous superhero that you can think of?
Kick ass.
Not that super ridiculous, but like funny.
Because you have to
okay.
pull from DC. Because I mean,
Yeah.
this is DC we're talking about.
Well,
Fuck,
what's
what's his
not
name?
a superhero, but fucking Lobo.
Lobo. They did. I think he would have done good for Lobo. Yeah, I think he would do good for Lobo.
Yeah.
Who would you cast?
I think. Who's the Plastic Man? Plastic Man would go good with that.
Plastic Man.
What? Plastic Man, but I don't know who would play him. Who would play him though? I can't remember.
You can see it, them like having beef or some shit. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, because his costume and stuff. So
The other dude, oh wow!
so he's the human version of Wonder Woman, essentially.
Basically.
Oh my god.
Oh wow! That'd be funny. Oh yeah, that would be perfect. That would be fucking perfect. I feel like they should bring back the guy, the British dude who played in Dark Tower, the gunslinger.
Idris Elba.
Mm.
Yeah, Victor Elba, bring back his character, but put him in Bloodsport and Peacemaker. I get surprised that he's still alive. That would be funny as fuck to see.
Uh,
Yeah.
heard of Clancy Brown probably once in passing. Oh shit!
Clancy Brown, yeah.
He was also
Oh, yeah.
compiling as Flash. Give me money, Christian.
I'm wondering if they here's the thing, because I was also thinking about like Harley Quinn making a cameo in a sense, but it would.
Yeah,
But then
I don't think I don't think she would though. Don't get me wrong. I love Harley, but in that kind of sensibility of that show, I don't think so, because it'll be more of a I don't know how to say it.
Because I'm trying to take
Ooh.
it from like where they left off from the first episode of them.
No, I do not. I don't really comic books so much. Gold Dust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably died. Everybody would have been fucking pissed.
I think Gold Dust can. Is it Gold Dust? Am I thinking of Gold Dust? Yeah, Boost to Gold. I think. Yeah, Boost to Gold. Oh yeah.
Also, it's gotta be a pretty lighthearted.
Yeah,
show.
Zach, I was probably do go with Booster Gold, because Booster Gold's a cocky frat boy character.
Kinda, but also for the future.
Yeah, but he's mostly a cocky frat boy. His character is played as a cocky frat boy.
Wasn't he like actually a janitor from his time?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I have some
Oh my
spicy
gosh,
stuff to
bro.
talk about this.
Dude, I'm fucking finally figure out that Gugro never died.
Grogu.
Whatever. He never died to the Skywalker because he left. Yeah, I thought he died. I legit thought he died in the Skywalker because of Skywalker because of Anakin. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my
So I was kind of thinking. I was like, does he die? Does he pick the lifesaver and die? And then I was like, oh no, he picks Mandalore.
They killed off Cad Bane, or how do you pronounce his name?
I don't think he's dead.
No,
I don't think he's
but
dead.
no. Let me. I know. Let me get to
Noticed
my
that.
point. I feel like they killed him off too early. I feel like they killed him off like too quick. Like not like in a sense of like they killed him off like, oh, and he's done. No, I feel like they killed him off too early. Yeah. I feel like they should have lingered him a little bit more to extend it, but I understand why they did the way they did certain things. Also, what do you think about the sheriff at the last cutscene? A lot of people were like,
I didn't even notice that was vamp until I.
a lot of my friend, because we finally watched the last episode. He's like, I thought he was gonna die. He's like, he should have stayed dead. I'm like, look, I already knew he was gonna, get rescued.
Yeah, I feel like if Cat Bane doesn't die and they bring him back for the second season of Boba Fett, I think the sheriff and him.
I think he'll.
But if they do,
appear
if they do,
in the Mandalore.
Yeah, in the Mandalore.
Sold.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Bounty hunting starting to die out and shit.
Yeah. He's like, I want to do better. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was saying that if he doesn't die, I feel like, and they do decide to put Ian in Mandalore or season 2 of Boba Fett, I feel like they should have him and Sheriff go off on a gunslinging gunslinging against each other.
Because
See who actually wins. Because the sheriff was scared of him at first. That's why.
Yeah, he literally was looking at his deputy and like I think he would have maybe won the fight in there if he wasn't worried about his deputy, if I'm being honest.
Blown up. Burned him to ash or something.
I would love to see that one. I would love to see it, bro.
What the fuck?
Really?
Damn.
Oh yeah. I just assumed that because Cat Bane trained him, and
Plus, that
when
war's
Cat Bane had
big.
trained him, he always had put him through a various test against him because he says like when Boba Fett's on the floor, he says this is gonna be my final test for you, and then says what he says.
No.
And Aura
They were like partners.
her.
I could see them as partners, but I don't think he was like a sort of like teacher. Like I think he showed him stuff about being a bounty hunter, but I don't think it was like physically him was the responsibility of him becoming a bounty hunter. Yeah.
Well, his dad was also a true Mandalorian as well. Encore Dawn.
I think they did a good
was
job
fucking
on
awesome.
revealing the Rancor scene. Was holy shit.
Oh, bro, the most wholesome part of that whole episode was when Grogu uses the Force power to put him asleep,
Put him to sleep.
and then
Yes.
he falls asleep right next to him.
That's one of the many things the Force can do, you know, if you're on the light side.
Force Jones. Yeah. I was-
Feels.
Reunite once
The most
again.
funniest scene, most funniest scene was the whole he dings on the damn glass to
Oh,
get him
yeah.
to do the damn fucking thing.
Yeah, that was hilarious too. No. You know. All right.
Fine, one
more.
last time.
Oh gosh. Mandalorian.
I'll be waiting a while.
I'm
for
ready for that, bro. I'm ready for
I-
part.
I
I'm
really
ready for
hope-
3.
I hope that they put Grogu back in the Jedi spot, like at least, or try to get him. Mhm.
Problem is, though,
Do you-
Brendan, he would have to win in battle against his own father figure. For him to be able to be successful. The thing, he would legit have to win against him in a contest. He would have
Well,
to
I
beat
mean, when you think
Mando.
about it, Mando's not Mandalorian right now because he took his helmet off.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't care what they call Mando. He might not be Mandalorian. He might be Mandalorian. In fact, there's two different factors there's just two different factors of the Mandalorian lifestyle. You got the ones who are saying, "Hey, Mandalorians don't take off their helmets for any instance," and you got the ones that are like, "Oh yeah, we take off our helmets and we live by this different kind of creed and code, and live by the other creed and code."
Catting in them, yeah. Like descendant of the Death Watch, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm. And he's gonna try to separate from it.
Catting? Or the armor?
The armor person.
Rolling some
Do
hands?
you think we'll see Sabine? I know everybody wants to see Sabine, and
I'm not really into watching Cena.
As an older. She's gonna be old as hell.
Because she's more tied in with Ahsoka. What?
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan.
yes,
Hello there.
I like Joe's the person of Obi-Wan. Hello there. Yeah.
Sir, what? General,
We will finally get to see what happened after he cut down Anakin to the fight with Darth Maul, and then to the end of his life.
I have the higher ground, Anakin.
I don't want to watch it then. What the fuck? I don't want to watch the scene. After Order 66, then?
It's
Oh. Uh-huh. But we already know what he was doing for most of his life during the Clone Wars. Well, not a whole bunch of it, but we know, like, certain parts of it.
we're about to.
Why the hell does everyone want to go back to Jakku? What?
Look, remember what I told you? I'm like, there is a potential of
Okay, shut the fuck up.
Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon?
Potential.
As a ghost?
Yeah.
But what for, then? Because...
I would love to see whenever Yoda says to him, like, your master, like, is waiting for you. That specific scene, figure out how they recreate that and, like, show us what he saw. Well, obviously it's gonna be his ghost, but, like, to see, like, everything fold out from that point on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Wills.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, kind of like, you know how, like, in the movies, kind of like live action, that's what I'm saying, like, more like how would they take, because I know, like, it's, I mean, I'm assuming it would probably be somewhat the same route, kind of, but
I liked
think
it. I
they did
enjoyed
a
the
good job.
episode.
Orlando.
I
I'm just
have
hoping
no,
they bring back. I'm hoping they bring a season 2 to it.
no complaints about like how everything folded.
Done them ever.
Yep.
That looks fucking awesome. What is that?
Oh, it's just a Rubik's Cube that's like a loop. It's literally looped. I'm just fidgeting with it.
That looks fucking awesome. I want to play with it now.
And still known as the.
It looks like
You should have like outroed
honestly.
me as the ever inevitable shit lord.
Inevitable.
You're not
Giant beard.
overcompensating, bitch. Jar Jar Binks.
The side.
Yeah. The guy is still fucking there. He's still fucking just sitting there. So
That's fucking creepy though.
With mouse.
I don't know if y'all can see this. Hold on. How do I turn
It's
this
still
shit
black
around?
screen.
Like all the way at the end of this, I don't know if y'all fucking see it, but he's like all the way down there at the fucking end. It's kind of standing there. It's like in a
Hey,
dark
right up
spot.
to him.
Hell,
I say just drive up to him and then tell you opposite.
Everything is dark.
no, dude. Hell no, dude.